Okay, we are live. Hi, everyone. My name is Meg Austin. I am an academic advisor here for the Center for Advising Career and Student Success at Cal State Monterey Bay. Welcome to our 5th live stream that we're doing in this live stream series. We're really excited if you're watching us today. We have a really special live stream today. We're having a bunch of campus partners here to present to you and to help answer questions that you have about financial aid, about housing, and we also have a rep from our orientation and first year experience team here today too. We hope that you will submit your questions so we can get them answered during our live stream today. We're going to be here for about 45 minutes. So we'll shoot to get everyone's questions answered. If we get a lot that come in, we will do our best to get them all answered. If we can't get them answered in the 45 minutes, then you can go ahead and leave your questions in the comment section below the YouTube video, and we can hope to get them answered soon. There is a chat box in the right-hand side of your screen that you can leave your questions in, and we can that's where you can leave your questions, and we can try and get them answered the best we can today while we're here. Let's see. So also many of the topics that we're going to discuss today are actually linked. A lot of our campus partners that are here today left some links in the notes section of the YouTube video that you're seeing. So you can also click on those to get more information as well. So while we're waiting for some questions to roll in, I am going to hand it over to our awesome presenters today and have them introduce themselves to you.
Hi guys, my name is Ashley McKellen. I'm the lead financial aid counselor here at CSU Monterey Bay.
Joe, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Joe Chappa. I am the Assistant Director for Campus Partnerships with Student Housing and Residential Life.
Hey everyone, I'm Sam Glazer-Houston. I'm the first year experience coordinator here.
Awesome. All right, so we have a couple of questions that have come in, but let's go ahead and do some information spreading from our from Ashley, Joe, and Sam while we wait for more to come in.
Okay guys, so this is Ashley from Financial Aid. Just want to give you guys an update. We're in the process of turning awards from estimated to actual. So what that does mean is in the very near future, we will be sending out emails to your CSUMB email to go ahead and log on to your account to accept your award. So that will be happening within the next week. So if you don't see your financial aid awards in about a week, definitely make sure you give our office a call.
Awesome. Joe, do you have any updates you want to send out?
Sure. If you haven't already applied, now is the time. Students need to have filled out their application, which they can do through the CSUMB dashboard. They can click on the My Housing link and go in there, fill out the application, make sure that you've paid a security deposit. We need the application and deposit to have a completed application. Many of you have already received an email with their assignment information, but if you have not and you've already applied, we are in the process of assigning students to main campus, and that's going to continue to happen over the next few weeks. You will get an email letting you know a status update so that before you get to orientation, if we have your application and all your information, it'll tell you that we are going to be ready to go with you in a couple of weeks and to just hang in there. Other than that, I think that's a good start.
Great, Joe. Anything from Sam?
Yeah, so we're getting excited for our orientations to start up here on Friday this week. So we have our transfer students. We're expecting to come here Friday, Saturday, and Monday. And then we will be expecting all of our first year students next week starting on Thursday, and then also Friday, Saturday, and the following Monday. And if folks have already registered, we're already ready for them to come for orientation. They don't need to bring anything with them. If they haven't registered yet and they're interested in attending, you can call our office to find out more information, but we're hoping folks can come as walk-ins, which means you would just show up on the date that you choose, and we can give you some help picking which date you need. And then you would just come let us know you'd like to attend for the day, and we would register you on the spot. So we'll get into more details, I'm sure, as we go on.
Boom. Thanks, everyone. We do have some questions that have rolled in, so I'm going to get going with those. All right. First question, which I think Sam should be able to help answer. What happens on Otter Days?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I'm so excited for Otter Days this year. We have a whole new plan going into Otter Days for 2017. So in the past, students have kind of showed up for move-in, and then we have some programming for them on the first weekend, and then each of the departments across campus kind of used to throw a program or an event throughout the first 2 weeks. And for this year, it's changing quite a bit. So instead of all of that, we've actually combined all of those 2 weeks of programming down into about 5 days. And it takes place right after you move in, that first Friday, all the way through the first day of class. And basically, all of the old events that took place are still included within that time. But this way, you'll have an Otter Days leader and a group that you're assigned to, and you'll actually get to attend about 25 events altogether throughout that weekend.
Awesome. Okay, another question from Hannah, which I think I might actually be able to help answer. Do you have any online classes through CSUMB? And the answer is yes, we do offer online courses. You can look on our website on the class schedule and the information that usually says when a class meets, like a class meeting time or what days it meets on. It'll either say online or arranged, and that's how you can tell whether or not a class is offered online. But our online programming is growing, where we offer some online classes, but we don't have, and it's not like half of our class offerings are all online. There are some, but it's a little bit fewer and far between finding an online class, and it's pretty specific. We almost lost Sam. You can talk to your advisor. You can go on our CSUMB advising website, which I did link in the notes of this YouTube stream, to see who your advisor is based on your major, and you can also talk to them about if any classes that you should be taking in your major are offered online. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Hannah. And then another one from Hannah. What is iLearn? So yeah, I can help answer that too. I know Sam is doing some programming through iLearn. Is that right, with your orientation?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, they're going to be receiving an online orientation in the month of July, and the online orientation is in iLearn. So it gives you a way to practice using iLearn, because you'll use it for many of your classes then. But it also will give you a lot of information about campus and a lot of what you'll learn at orientation, but it'll go into further detail.
Awesome. Yeah, iLearn, is a portal to use for a lot of different things. You'll use iLearn in a lot of your classes too when you start. I think most instructors use iLearn to post assignments, to post reading material. You may even submit things through iLearn as well. You can actually access iLearn through your dashboard. You should be able to access your My CSUMB dashboard right now, and you should be able to log on to iLearn. You may not have classes there yet because you haven't registered yet, but you might be able to see some other things on there and start getting more familiar with iLearn too. Okay, so we have a question that I think Joe will be able to help answer from actually our Facebook page. Louis posted it on here for us. The question is, if you are taking early start for both math and English, does that mean you have to live on campus for both? I realize that move-in day is the same day as one of the math classes.
So you don't have to live on for the math seminar. We actually don't offer the housing for the English version of the seminar, because that's in July. Students who need to take an early start class for English, they're actually encouraged to do it near their home institution. And there's a number of places that they can do that. If they did want to come here, we aren't offering housing options. But for math, we definitely are. If you are scheduled to move in for the fall, you'll be receiving information. The move-in will be the Monday before our normal move-in date. Don't have that date right in front of me, I apologize. But we'll absolutely be ready for you. And the check-in for math seminar is actually right at the same time as your check-in for housing. So they'll just move you from one table to the next.
Great. Okay, I think another question actually that's maybe directed towards housing. would it be acceptable to bring an X-Acto knife to school for crafting purposes, or would that be considered a weapon?
There are size requirements of what is allowed, not allowed, but a small crafting knife is generally going to be okay. But if you want to double check, right on our website, there's a link for what to bring, and I believe I have the what to bring link on the YouTube page there, so I would check that out.
Great. Okay. How easy, difficult would it be for an incoming transfer student to change majors? I can help answer that one. So it really it kind of depends on what major you want to change to. There are some majors on campus that are considered impacted, which have requirements that students would need to have completed before being able to be accepted into that major. I think you did say you're coming in as a transfer. Yeah, so that does make things a little bit tricky when trying to change to a major that you may not have already had those kind of prerequisite or lower division requirements done already from your community college. But definitely talk to the advisor of the major that you are thinking about changing to. Again, you can go to the link that I put in the notes description, or in the notes part of this YouTube channel. There's a link to our advising website, and you can see who your advisor is. You should have already been receiving emails from your advisor, from your academic advisor for your major that you're declared as. But you can go on our website to see who the advisor is for the major that you are interested in pursuing, and to talk with them about requirements for being able to change to that major. So it may be doable easier for certain majors, not as easier for other majors, but definitely talk to the advisor of that major that you're interested in for more information. Okay. Next question: when can you begin to apply for otter jobs? Does anyone want to take a crack at that, or I can help that? I can answer that one too. So otter jobs. So you essentially, as soon as you start on campus, because you're a student, you can apply for otter jobs. If you just go on the otter jobs page, you should be able to see the application right on there for certain positions, and you can start applying as soon as you start. But there are certain, depending on the job that you do apply for, some have other requirements that you may need certain experiences in other areas depending on what position is open. But essentially, you can start applying as soon as you're a student here. But make sure that you're looking at the requirements for the job that you're applying to, and what kind of experiences and knowledge and background that job is saying that they prefer. But we have a great career center here in our office, and you can make an appointment with a careers advisor to talk about applying for jobs too. All right, one for Sam. On orientation day, can they help us? Oh, actually, well, for both of us, on orientation day, can they help us apply for classes?
Yeah, I'll take a stab at this one.
Sure.
So on orientation day, what will happen is students will be grouped up with other students within the same major, and you'll go with that group to meet with an advisor and discuss things about that major. So you'll have a major meeting, and that's a great way to find out some general information and learn more about how advising will work in general on our campus. And it's also a great way to kind of put a name to the face, because your advisors have been emailing you leading up to orientation. So this is a chance to figure out who that person is. You won't actually register for your classes on the day of orientation, but by attending orientation, you will receive priority course registration, and then that will allow you to register at home at an earlier time.
Great, that's awesome. Yeah, so make sure everyone's checking your emails too. You should all have access to your CSUMB email account, or most of you should. And you're getting emails right now from, I'm sure other offices on campus too, but definitely your advisors are emailing out and giving advice on classes as well, and also information about registering. But yeah, you will be, I'll just shout out those registration dates now. If you're a transfer student and coming to orientation, you actually will be registering on June 21st. If you're a freshman and also coming to orientation, you'll be able to start registering on June 23rd. And if you're not going to be attending orientation, then you'll be registering on June 26th. So like Sam said, you will get priority registration if you are able to attend orientation. All right. Let's see here. Next question from Hannah. I sent my final official transcripts from a community college to admissions office, but my transfer credit report says the classes I took in spring are in progress, which I assume is in progress. Yeah, IP in progress. Why is that? So it could just be taking a little more time, Hannah, for the admissions office to process those transcripts. They should be processed soon. But it is pretty normal. A lot of students are in that same situation where those final grades are not yet posted to your transfer credit report. But be patient; it'll get there. They'll get there eventually. And if, like I said, if you want to talk to your advisor too, they may be able to help you too with class recommendations based on what you were enrolled in last semester at your other college. All right. From Eric, for orientation, is parking free for the day, or is there a certain area to park at? Is there anything recommended to bring?
Oh, I love the 3 questions in one. That's great. So for orientation, parking is free for the day. We have an assigned parking lot. So our parking passes are only valid in lot 71. When you arrive on campus that day, you can follow the signs. There'll actually be like little construction signs out across campus pointing you in the direction of our assigned parking lot. And then once you get there, there'll be a team of orientation leaders and a big tent in that lot, and then we'll provide you with a complimentary parking pass that's valid in that lot for the day. And then you'll also talk to the orientation leaders after you park to make sure that you're going in the right direction towards our university center, and that's where all of the program starts taking place. And then as for your third question, is there anything we recommend you to bring? Typically for orientation, the most important thing is that you're there and ready to pay attention for the day. It's a good idea to also bring a photo ID if you have one, as well as you'll be walking around campus, so it's a smart idea to look at the weather for the day, dress appropriately, and wear walking shoes.
Boom. All right. Will we be able to contact our roommates before move-in day? I think that's one for Joe.
Yes, you should be able, once you receive your assignment, you should be able to go into your dashboard and find that information. If it's not listed, you can always contact our office and we can help you out.
Awesome. All right. I think we have one for Ashley from Giselle. Are parents who are not U.S. citizens allowed to apply for a parent loan at CSUMB or not? If not, is there another way?
Great question. So actually what can happen is that particular family or any family can go ahead and contact our office, and we can actually work one-on-one with them about what they need to provide to go ahead and bypass that application. And actually parents do not have to apply for a Parent Plus loan, but what happens is it does qualify for an additional unsubsidized loan in the student's name. So definitely make sure the student contacts our office.
Great, thanks. Okay, another one I think I can answer. Eric's asking, when does the link for the My Planner appear for computer science majors? So Eric, we're actually piloting the My Learning Plan with only 4 majors starting in the fall 17. Those are just biology, kinesiology, cinematic arts and technology, and psychology. So computer science isn't going to be using the My Learning Plan tool yet. You may be in the future, but we don't know which majors are going to be next in the piloting of this tool. But you'll definitely be made aware of that once we decide on those majors who are going to be doing it next. But for now, it's just those 4. So you shouldn't be seeing that link at all yet, or you being able to access that tool yet. But you will have, you should be getting emails from your advisor. I believe your advisor is Jessica Pinales. And you can always ask her questions about developing a learning plan too. And you can meet with her maybe sometime after orientation, or once you start here at CSUMB, you can meet with Jessica to develop a learning plan. That's not in this new tool that we're trying with the other majors, but every other major has their own way of doing a learning plan too. All right. I think another one for Joe from Patricia. If you're a transfer student, can you get a 1-bedroom housing on campus?
As far as the way the rooms are set up, on East Campus, there are 3 people to an apartment, and there's a single and a double. You can do that. The only people who would be eligible to get the full apartment would be families. We do have a small wait list for family housing, but if that's something where you are married or have a dependent child, you'd be eligible for that. Otherwise, as far as housing options go, you certainly can preference a single room, whether it's East Campus or Main Campus. We're running a small wait list on East Campus, so my best advice, if you haven't already applied, go ahead and apply, and preference that you want to live on Main Campus.
Awesome. Okay, so we got a little break from students sending in questions, but I have some questions that I would like to ask the team, as if I were a student. So one for Ashley, is it too late to fill out a FAFSA?
No, students can still go ahead and fill out a FAFSA, and then what happens is once it's actually submitted to our office, normally about a week later is when we'll actually get the notification of the FAFSA, and one or two things could happen. One, we may require additional documentation, which we'll go ahead and email the CSUMB email for the additional documents, or we'll go ahead and actually award you for this upcoming school year.
Okay, and I think actually another one from Patricia just came in. Maybe you just answered that, but if you got info on a grant being received decision, how do I find that award letter?
So what's going to happen is when we actually, and like I mentioned earlier, we're in the process of turning awards from estimated to actual. So we will be emailing students CSUMB emails within the next week. And what's going to happen is it's going to communicate to students to have them log into their CMS account and to go to their financial aid section to go ahead and actually accept their financial aid grants and, if applicable, student loans.
Awesome, thanks. Okay. So one for Joe I'm gonna give you. If I have special ADA housing needs, what do I do?
Okay, if you have special needs, we're happy to answer your questions if you contact us, but what I would recommend highly is you contact Student Disability Services. You need to register whatever needs you may have so that they can verify them, and then we work directly with them to see if we're able to accommodate the request. But as long as you're working with them, develop your relationship with them, start early, and they're a great partner for us, and we do everything we can to try to help students out who have special accommodations.
Great, and actually another one just came in our student question chat. If I'm living in East Campus, I assume that this is a hypothetical question because I hope, Hannah, you're not here yet, but if but maybe once you get here, you're asking is if I'm living in East Campus and my roommates are not working out, is there a way to transfer to a different room?
Yeah, well, there's a couple things I would say. If you feel like your roommates aren't, it's not working out, you're having some communication issues, maybe got off on the wrong foot, always start with your RA. Every court in East Campus and every floor on Main Campus has an RA, and they're here to help. They're here to kind of walk you through some of the interpersonal issues. Your first week there, there'll be an actual, we call them floor meetings. That would be a court meeting, but you'd be able to get together with the people that are in your area, and they're going to talk to you about things like roommate agreements, which are a great way to kind of normalize how you and these new people that you've met are going to live together. And a lot of the questions and bumps that people go into early on are smoothed out with that agreement. Otherwise, the RA is there to help. But if all else fails and you really need to do something different, early in the semester, there is a room transfer process, and it's based on availability, but you would be able to go in and request that you would like to live somewhere else. And they'd walk you through the steps based on what's available.
Thanks, Joe. All right, I'm going to shoot one to Ashley. When do students get their financial aid?
So financial aid doesn't get dispersed to students until the end of the first week of school. So how it works is financial aid does pay towards what is owed to the university first. So that will be, of course, tuition, and if living on Main Campus, that would be housing, and if you do have a meal plan, the meal plan. Then the money that's left over, there's two ways we can actually go ahead and send it out to you. We can either, one, deposit it into your bank account, but you do need to go ahead and set up direct deposit, and that's through your CMS account. Or 2, we actually send out checks to students at the end of the second week of school.
All right. I'm going to shoot one to Sam. What are my parents or supporters going to do during the day while I'm at orientation?
Yeah, that's a great question. So hopefully you signed up your supporters to come with you as guests to orientation. If you did, they'll have their own separate track during orientation. So what will happen is you'll come in as a family and we'll check you into the orientation program for the day. We'll also usher you to a specific place to sit in the morning. You can sit with your family for the welcome. And then we'll dismiss the students out to go to their major meetings so they can meet up with their advisors. And meanwhile, once we do that, the supporters will actually stay back and we'll have programs that are specific to them, and we'll have presenters that come in and talk about how to be a good supporter to your new student. So basically, supporters have a long day of orientation just like their students do.
Awesome. Thanks for the information. Okay. So we had a couple come in from students. Do you guys provide scholarships or grants for foster youth?
We do have a CSUMB scholarship that we actually do open it up every November, and it normally closes at the beginning of February or the middle of February. And it's one application that does apply for all different scholarships here at CSUMB, and there is one particular scholarship that is for foster youth students. But like I said, what's nice is about our CSUMB scholarship, there is one application. There's also the Guardian Scholarship Program. That's actually a separate program that's actually run outside of financial aid. And I definitely recommend that you do reach out to them because they are a fabulous program that is there to help assist students that are foster youth.
Great, okay. Next question, which I think is still for Ashley. We might have touched on it a little bit, but how do you know when your financial aid award / grant from CSUMB was processed?
We're in the process right now of turning awards from estimated to actual. So right now, no students can see their awards. We're gonna go ahead and actually be sending out emails to notify students of their awards in about a week. Hopefully sooner, but the latest would be about a week. So if you don't see your award in about a week, definitely make sure you contact our office.
Great. And we're getting a lot of thank yous and thanks for the information. So everyone's really excited that I think that we're answering these questions. So I think we're answering their questions well too. So good work everyone so far. Next one, do we apply for scholarships annually or by semester?
So scholarships are applied for annually. We will be opening up the application again starting in November. So it's right around the corner. We will be posting flyers on campus. Professors will be notifying students of it, and then deans will also be notifying students of it once we actually open it up in November.
All right. Let's see. This one might be for me. From Jaden, if a class is full for one time and it opens up later on, how do we apply for it or know that it is open? What if we are enrolled for the same class but at a different time? Can we switch? How? Yeah, Jaden, so definitely good questions. If a class is full but you notice another class that it opens up later, then you can definitely switch into that course. You can make schedule adjustments all the way leading up to the start of the semester, and you can actually make schedule adjustments in the first 2 weeks of the semester. You can't make schedule adjustments after the first 2 weeks of the semester, but you can do before that 2-week deadline. So keep that class in your shopping cart in CMS. You should have been getting emails from your advisor about information about loading classes in your shopping cart. And you can check that way if you put your class in your shopping cart, even though it's full, you can do that and then just check regularly to see if it opens up. That's probably the most accurate way to check and see if a class is open or full. And let's see, what was the next part of your question? Oh, what if we're enrolled in the same class but at a different time? Yeah, so you could definitely make that same adjustment if you want to keep the same class but a different section in your shopping cart. then you can just check it regularly to see if that opens up. If that fits better with your schedule, then you can just, there is a swapping function actually in your shopping cart enrollment plan. If you click the Enroll tab at the top of the shopping cart screen, then you can actually use a function called the swap, and that will appear once you're under the Enroll tab. And you can swap a section for another section if you find that it opens up. And also there's information about adding classes to your shopping cart and using a really cool tool called Schedule Planner through, again, our advising page. We have web tutorials about how to use all that, and that's through our advising website that I linked below this video. Okay, question from Kyle. Can you make appointments with the Disability Center during orientation?
That's a really great question. So we have a department called Student Disability Resources, and a lot of people on campus call that SDR for short. And you can reach out to them now, anytime now, all the way through when you're a student and while you're a student. And they are really awesome at working one-on-one with people to figure out exactly what kind of accommodations are needed and how they can assist you so that you're successful here at CSUMB. And they will have a table during orientation at the resource fair, just like most of our campus resources will be there. And you can talk to someone from their department about how to get your paperwork over to them and set up a further appointment if you need to. However, they can usually answer most of the questions that a lot of people would ask just during the resource fair. So hopefully that's an option for you. And then also, like I said, you're welcome to reach out to them at any time before or after then as well.
Great, thanks, Sam. Okay, so next question. As far as the EOP department, when should we hear from them? I applied months ago and have not heard anything back as of yet. Should I be worried?
I would recommend that you actually follow up with the EOP department. I don't know exactly when they'll actually notify students of who they've selected into the program, but it's definitely something that I do recommend that you do go ahead and actually contact them as soon as possible.
I just pulled up their website too. So their phone number is 831-582-4456. Definitely follow up. All right. Okay, I think this question is for Joe. What information do you guys have on dysphoria/African American housing?
Yes, so on our website, there's a link for living learning communities, and that would give you all the information about the different communities, what they offer. If you are interested in living one of these communities, on your application, you're able to indicate that. But since it's getting a little later in the summer, I would say if you have a strong interest, send us an email. And that way, as we're doing assignments, which are happening right now, we'll be able to see what we can to accommodate you.
All right. So another one from Giselle following up on financial aid disbursement. So again, we receive our extra financial aid money in the end of the first week of school. So our tuition and housing/meal plan are covered by our financial aid in the beginning.
So how it works is there is a very big deadline of August 2nd this year. And what that is we need to show that there's enough financial aid to cover what is owed for housing, meal plan, and tuition. So if you do have that, enough financial aid to cover what is owed, then you're going to get something called a payment deadline extension for tuition and a housing payment deadline extension. So it lets the university know that you aren't going to be paying by that August 2nd deadline, but that you do have enough financial aid to cover. But yes, it will automatically go towards what is owed to the university first, and then you'll get your financial aid at the end of the second week of school, as long as you've completed all of your requirements. Sometime in July is when we're actually going to be posting those deadline or the payment deadline extensions under your hold section. So as long as you have enough financial aid and you've completed your requirements, you will see those start to be posted under your hold section of your CMS account in July.
And can I add to that a little bit?
Yeah.
So specifically about housing. So what Ashley said is 100% correct, that you really need to keep an eye on those holds to see if you have those extensions. If you do not see that you have a housing extension, that means you are likely going to owe something for housing. And in order to be okay to move in, if you're in that case, you're either going to have to pay the difference, or you can set up a payment plan. And there's a link for it under the screen on our YouTube video here. Please go ahead and fill it out. Even if you're unsure, you're not like, maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't. If you want to just be safe, you can fill that out now, send that to our office. And all that is telling us is that you're agreeing that if there is a difference in the amount of what you're receiving and what you owe, that you'll be able to pay that back on a schedule. And what we've asked students to do before the August 2nd date is, if you are able to calculate how much you think it might be, for instance, maybe I'll be $500 short. We'd want you to pay $250 up front by that deadline, and then you can pay the rest on the schedule that's indicated on the payment plan. And if you have questions, you can always email us. The more you talk to us, letting us know that you may owe something, the more we're able to help you. And the sooner we can get that in order, the better. Because they're able to disperse the money over that second week of the semester, I want to make sure that you are not worrying about any of that after that point. So the sooner we can get this done, the better. And please let us know if you have questions.
Awesome. Okay. Question from Eric. Do we need to pay our tuition fees before classes start? I asked since we won't get our financial aid until after the second week of classes. Thank you.
So I'll go ahead and take that one. So as long as you do have enough financial aid to cover what is owed, in July is when you'll get that payment deadline extension for your tuition. So that means that you will not have to go ahead and pay for your tuition up front, as long as it's enough money to cover what is owed for your tuition. If it's not enough money to cover what is owed for tuition, then you need to pay the difference between what is owed for tuition and your financial aid by that August 2nd deadline.
All right. Okay, he said also, is BOG available, or is that not an option since it's university level?
So BOG fee waivers are actually for a community college, but what the university does have is something called a state university grant that is actually specific to help pay for your tuition. Not the campus fees, but the tuition here at CSUMB. And we put it as kind of like a waiver, so it will actually waive the tuition fees.
All right. Okay, question from Indiana. I know we talked about that we can contact our roommates, but when will we be able to see where we will be living and who will we be living with?
Okay, so great question. There should be an email once the assignment is actually done that'll let you know to check your housing portal. But if you're curious, when you log in, and again, if you go into your CSUMB dashboard and you click on the link to get in there, there's a link for the housing portal. Click on that link and you can go to the application where you submitted and click on that application, and right on that main page, it'll say, it's called a booking. It'll say what your booking is, and it would be listed right there. And then if you click in further under application status, you'll actually see all of your roommates listed, and there'll be a link to that web profile. That was the same information that you would have filled out that included a screen name that you gave yourself, as well as what your preferences were. So that way you can get a sense of what your roommates' interests are, what their habits are. And again, this is the same thing that you would have filled out. So that's a nice way to share that information and learn a little bit about them even before you say hello.
All right, we got another one for housing. Which bed is bed 3, right, middle, or left? View from walking into the door. Maybe, I don't know if that's answerable.
Great question. It will be different based on the room that you're assigned to, but all the furniture is numbered. So if you are bed 3 or bed 1, the bed will have a 3 on it, the desk will have a 3 on it, the chair will have a 3 on it. And just know that you're responsible for your numbers. So whatever the state of that furniture is, where it's located, what it looks like, we want to make sure that you're returning it that way at the end of the year. But otherwise, it's yours.
All right. Okay, question from Jaden, which I think I'll help answer. So if you're switching majors, how do you know if you need to contact a different advisor or a different counselor? And if you pass AP exams, how do you use them to validate your classes? So yeah, Jaden, if you want to change majors to a major that you didn't apply with, then definitely contact the advisor of the major you want to change to talk with them about your options and the feasibility of that, of changing your major. And like I said, you can click the link to our advising webpage below in the notes section of this YouTube channel or YouTube video, and it'll link you to our website, and you can click on meet our staff, and you can see all the advisors in our office and which majors they advise for to know which one to contact. I would just send them an email or give them a call. And if you pass AP exams, how do you use them to validate your classes? So you can check your, we have a web page on our CSUMB website called Credit by Exam. So if you just type that into the search box on our CSUMB website, you can look up a really handy, user-friendly guide. Like it's a table that shows you how your AP exams and how AP credit transfers for GE credit at CSUMB. So that's one way to know. And if you don't have your AP exact scores yet, if you think you might have passed them, then you can check that way so that you know you don't have to take those GE classes in your first semester. I hope that's what you meant by that question. You can, I hope I answered it. Okay, next question. I received my housing assignment already, and I noticed that my roommate changed. Does that mean it will continue to change?
That's a good question. They generally stay stable. However, assignments can change for different reasons. Student may have chosen not to attend anymore. There are some situations where a room does need a change for a different purpose. But if there is a change, emails generally go out that notify people that there will be a change in your roommate.
Awesome. And I just want to follow up with one other thing I forgot to mention when I was answering Jaden's question about AP scores. So the credit by exam is something you can use in the meantime until your AP scores get submitted to your transfer credit. And your transfer credit report is something that you can have access to right now, actually, in your CMS Student Center. But you may not see your AP scores there yet because I don't believe they're due until July to come here. But once we do have those AP scores here on campus, then you can see those scores and how they counted towards GE credit in your transfer credit report. Okay, so we're actually just a couple minutes away from the end of our live stream, and that's all the questions that have come in. You all did a great job.
Thanks, you did a great job, Meg.
Oh, stop it, Sam. So I'm going to start wrapping it up here. If there are any more last minute questions that come in, we'll try and get them answered. But thank you all, everyone, for attending our live stream and asking your awesome questions. We'll have one more live stream through our office next week, a week from today, at 10 a.m. with a couple of our awesome academic advisors. So come ready with your questions for that live stream. We're also offering open labs tomorrow and next Wednesday for local students. If you want to come in and get help with loading your shopping cart, getting help with classes, with getting familiar with tools, anything we can help you with as academic advisors, we're going to be doing open labs, and that those will be tomorrow and then next week too. So those are really encouraged though for just local students. We don't want you driving from out of the state to attend these open labs. They're totally optional. But if you're local, feel free to stop by. You can find more information on our website about those open labs. And let's see, registration dates I already mentioned, but I'll go through them one more time. Students who attend orientation are going to be registering. So freshman students who attend orientation register on June 23rd. Transfer students who attend orientation start registering for classes on June 21st. And then students who are not able to attend orientation will start registering on June 26th. Again, check your emails. your CSUB email should hopefully be available to you now, and that is the official way of communication on this campus, not just from our office, but everyone on campus emails you to your CSUB email. We don't send letters, we don't make phone calls. It's mostly just through your CSUB, so it's really good to check that regularly and keep on top of your emails, because there's a lot of good information in there. So thank you to all of our campus partners, Ashley, Joe, and Sam. Thank you so much for attending today. You were all awesome.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for the advising office for hosting.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks again, everyone. I'm going to sign off now. Hope everyone has a great day. Bye.